Hey guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody who congratulated me on my baptism. Super grateful, and I really, really do appreciate it, especially after everything that's been happening to me leading up to the baptism. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. I made this declaration to God. I told God I was going to do this about a month before it happened, and I was super excited about it, ready to go. But a couple weeks before the baptism, something strange started happening to me in my life. And maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe I sound crazy. But I wanted to share it anyway because someone might be going through the similar issue. And this came out of nowhere. As a new believer on fire for the Lord, spending a lot of time in scripture, praying, trying to grow, um start having these thoughts, man, start having these random thoughts, thinking, thoughts about, are you sure you want to do this? This is a big decision that you're making. Um, and it was pretty weird to me because, I've been so confident about it up until then, and my YouTube algorithm, which has been full of, sermons, Bible verses, Christian content, um, out of nowhere, atheist videos started popping up, appearing. So, eventually I clicked on one, and that led to more videos of Christians turning atheists, people explaining why they left their faith. Um, videos that are kind of meant to create doubt. Um, and I could actually feel these videos trying to shift my perspective and make me question what I was doing. And around that same time, I ended up watching a movie too, with Jamie Foxx in it, called Tin Soldier. And I didn't know what it was about, but when I turned it on, it turned out to be a story, involving a cult leader controlling veterans' minds, turning against the government. And the whole thing gave me this weird feeling, almost like it was trying to convince me that getting baptized meant I was going to join something dangerous, something kind of cult like. And it started adding this confusion that I was already starting to build up. I even tried turning back to scripture, but scripture wasn't connecting the way that it was before. I felt distant, I felt confused, and I felt spiritually off. So for a few days, I decided that I was going to avoid my Bible. I'd even see my Bible sitting on my desk, and I would try to distract myself from it. Instead of picking it up, I would turn to videos, movies, like anything to just get me away from it. Um, and I remember one Sunday, the weather was kind of bad. I planned to actually stay home and watch service online. And then I overheard the pastor, Pastor Rob, mention that if anybody missed the baptism meeting, that they should still come in and sign the board. And that's what pushed me to leave the house, which I'm super grateful for, because after service, I ended up talking to him, and he randomly told me that, I might feel like the enemy is trying to pull me away from going through something like this, and that I need to be aware. Um, and that's when everything just started making sense to me. And I think the final nail in the coffin was, my final moment was when my mom actually called me and said she couldn't make it to the baptism, and asked if I could reschedule it for the next one, which is in August. And something in me felt like that was another attempt to throw things off. And that's when I had to tell her, sorry, I can't do it. And I decided to go a little MIA until the baptism so that I could stay focused. And I'm just so happy that I did. And I'm so happy that I pushed through, because this day ended up being the best day of my life. And the message I received that day after the baptism was, that it's time to do the work now. Um, and today I opened my Bible again. This is the day after the baptism, and everything is resonating again. I'm receiving so much messages. It's clear. It's clear again. So For anyone going through something like this, I just want to say keep going, keep God on your mind. You know, the connection might get a little staticky right before you make that declaration to Him. The enemy is going to try to break you down, but remember how you felt when you first made that connection with God. Let that be your guide back to Him. I'm rooting for you, and God bless.